If your girlfriend suddenly starts acting childish around you, giggling at nothing, playing silly games, speaking in funny voices, or getting excited over small things like a kid on Christmas morning, pay very close attention because this is not immaturity. This is actually one of the deepest signs of emotional safety you can receive from another person. Before we go deeper into this, if you're finding value in understanding the psychology behind relationships, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we dive deep into human behavior and connection here. And drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. I love seeing our global community. Psychologically, this behavior is called age regression, and it happens when someone's nervous system finally drops its guard. Your girlfriend isn't acting immature. She's revealing a part of herself she normally keeps hidden from the world. This is a part that had to grow up too fast, that learned early on to be serious, controlled, and responsible. From a neurological standpoint, when we feel unsafe, our prefrontal cortex stays activated. We monitor our behavior, we control our reactions, we maintain social masks. But when deep safety is present, the amygdala calms down, the nervous system relaxes, and suddenly the playful, unfiltered parts of ourselves that we suppressed can finally emerge. Here's what most people don't understand. If someone acts childish with you, it means you've created an environment where they don't have to perform. They don't have to be the put-together version of themselves. They can just be. And that's rare. Most people go their entire lives without feeling safe enough to let that part of themselves out. Behaviorally, this shows up in specific ways. She might suddenly get clingy in a soft way, wanting to be held or cuddled more than usual. She might use baby talk occasionally, not because she thinks it's cute, but because her nervous system is accessing a state it never got to fully experience in childhood. She might get playful in ways that seem out of character, tickling you, making silly faces, laughing at things that aren't objectively funny. This is her inner child coming out. And if you grew up having to be the adult in your family, if you had to suppress your own playfulness to survive, you'll recognize this behavior immediately, because you know what it costs to keep that part locked away. According to attachment theory, people who grew up in emotionally volatile or neglectful environments learn to suppress their natural childlike joy. They become hyper-responsible. They become the rock everyone leans on. They develop a persona that says, "I don't need anyone. I can handle everything." But that's not authenticity. That's survival. So when your girlfriend starts acting childish, what she's really saying is, "I trust you enough to stop surviving around you. I can finally just exist." And that level of vulnerability is profound.
Most men completely miss this signal. They see the behavior as annoying or immature. They shut it down. And in doing so, they close the door on one of the deepest forms of intimacy available. From a developmental psychology perspective, we all have unmet needs from childhood. Needs for play, for safety, for unconditional acceptance. When those needs weren't met, they don't disappear. They just wait. And when someone finally feels safe enough, those needs resurface. Not because the person is broken, but because healing requires revisiting what was lost. If she's acting childish with you, she's not regressing in a pathological sense. She's integrating. She's allowing a part of herself that was exiled to come back home. And your response to this matters deeply. If you can hold space for it, if you can play along without judgment, you become a co-regulating presence in her life. You become someone who doesn't just tolerate her, but accepts all of her. Here's the part most people ignore. High-value partners understand that emotional safety isn't just about being calm and stable. It's about being present for all the parts of someone, including the parts that seem inconvenient or out of place. It's about recognizing that playfulness isn't immaturity. It's a sign that someone trusts you with their unguarded self. Neuroscientifically, play activates the same brain regions associated with bonding and attachment. When your girlfriend plays with you, when she acts silly and unfiltered, her brain is releasing oxytocin. She's deepening her attachment to you on a biological level. This isn't just surface behavior. This is nervous system recalibration. Culturally, we've been taught that maturity means being serious all the time. We've been sold the idea that adults should be composed, measured, controlled. But that's not maturity. That's suppression. Real maturity is the ability to access your full emotional range when it's appropriate. It's being able to be serious when needed and playful when safe. If your girlfriend only shows you her serious side, it means she's still in protection mode around you. She hasn't fully relaxed. But if she lets her guard down, If she shows you the silly, goofy, unpolished parts of herself, that's when you know you've reached a level of intimacy that most relationships never achieve. Psychologically, this behavior also reveals something about her past. If she's acting childish now, it often means she wasn't allowed to be a child when she actually was one. Maybe she had to take care of siblings. Maybe she had to manage a parent's emotions. Maybe she grew up in an environment where being carefree was punished or unsafe. So now, in your presence, she's reclaiming what was taken from her. She's experiencing the safety she never had. And if you can see it for what it is, you'll realize this isn't something to shut down. It's something to protect. From a relational standpoint, couples who can play together stay together.
Research shows that shared playfulness is one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction. It's not about being silly all the time. It's about having the security to let go of performance and just be human with each other. But here's the critical part. If you shame her for this, if you make her feel like she's being too much or acting weird, you will trigger her defenses. She will retreat. She will put the mask back on. And you'll be left wondering why the relationship feels distant again. High-functioning women are particularly prone to this pattern. They're used to being the one everyone relies on. They're used to being strong, capable, and in control. So when they finally find someone they can let go with, the contrast is stark. Suddenly, they're giggling at nothing, asking for reassurance, wanting to be held like they're 5 years old. This isn't weakness. This is trust. And trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Without it, you just have two people performing for each other. Behaviorally, you'll notice she might also become more expressive emotionally. She might cry more easily, not because she's unstable, but because she finally feels safe enough to release what she's been holding. She might talk about fears or insecurities she's never shared before. She might need more physical touch, not in a needy way, but in a regulating way. All of this is her nervous system recalibrating from hypervigilance to safety. And your job isn't to fix it, it's to witness it without judgment. It's to let her know that all of her is welcome, not just the parts that are convenient or easy. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, playfulness is a signal of low threat. In environments where survival is uncertain, play disappears. Animals don't play when they're being hunted. Humans don't play when they're in chronic stress. So if your girlfriend is playing with you, it means on a deep biological level, she knows she's not in danger around you. That's huge. Most people never create that kind of safety for their partners. They remain transactional. They remain surface level. But you've gone deeper, and that comes with responsibility. It means you can't betray that trust. You can't use her vulnerability against her. You have to honor what she's giving you. Here's another angle. If she's acting childish, it also means she's testing you, not consciously, but subconsciously. She's seeing if you'll reject her when she's not her polished self. She's seeing if your acceptance is conditional or unconditional, and how you respond will determine the trajectory of your relationship. If you embrace it, if you play along, if you let her be free, you'll deepen the bond exponentially. But if you pull back, if you make her feel like she's too much, she'll close off, and you'll never get that level of access again. Psychologically, this is also a form of co-regulation. When she acts childish and you respond with warmth and playfulness, you're helping her nervous system learn that safety is real. You're reprogramming years of conditioning that taught her to stay on guard. You're showing her that she doesn't have to earn your acceptance. It's already there. From a therapeutic standpoint, this kind of dynamic is incredibly healing. Many people carry wounds from childhood that they never fully processed. They never had a secure base to return to. But in a relationship where this kind of safety exists, healing happens naturally, not through talking about trauma, but through experiencing safety in real time. If she starts acting childish and you notice it triggers you, that's worth exploring. Maybe you also had to grow up too fast. Maybe you also never got to be playful. And seeing her access that part of herself might bring up envy or discomfort. That's not her problem to fix. That's yours to process. High-value partners do their own inner work. They don't project their unresolved pain onto their partner. They recognize when something is being triggered in them, and they address it internally. They don't make their partner shrink to accommodate their discomfort. Behaviorally, you might also notice she becomes more spontaneous. She might suggest random adventures, want to dance in the living room, or get excited about things that seem trivial. This is her accessing the parts of herself that were dormant.
This is her coming alive in your presence. And here's the beautiful part. When she feels safe enough to be childish, you'll also feel safer being vulnerable. Emotional safety is contagious. When one person drops their guard, it gives the other person permission to do the same. So her playfulness isn't just about her healing. It's about creating a space where both of you can be fully human. From a neurological standpoint, this dynamic also strengthens your bond. When you engage in playful behavior together, your brains synchronize. Mirror neurons activate. You start to attune to each other on a deeper level. This isn't just emotional connection. This is biological bonding. And if you've been in relationships where everything felt heavy and serious all the time, this will feel different. It will feel lighter. But don't mistake lightness for lack of depth. The deepest connections often have the most play, because play requires trust, and trust requires depth. Here's what high performers understand. Relationships aren't just about shared goals or mutual respect. They're about being able to access your full humanity with another person. And that includes the parts of you that are messy, unpolished, and unapologetically alive. If your girlfriend is showing you that side of herself, don't shut it down. Don't make her feel like she's being too much. Celebrate it. Engage with it. Let her know that all of her is welcome, because that's the kind of relationship that lasts.
That's the kind of relationship that transforms both people. From a relational psychology standpoint, this is also a sign that she's moving from anxious attachment to secure attachment with you. Anxiously attached people stay in performance mode. They monitor how they're being perceived. They adjust themselves to avoid abandonment. But securely attached people relax. They trust that they're accepted as they are. So if she's acting childish, it means she's transitioning into security. And that's the goal of any healthy relationship. Not to make each other perfect, but to make each other safe. And here's the part that might challenge you. If you can't handle her playfulness, it might reveal that you're not as emotionally available as you think. It might show that you're still operating from a mindset of control rather than connection, and that's worth examining. High-value men don't need their partners to be serious all the time. They don't need them to be convenient or easy to manage. They can hold space for complexity. They can hold space for play. They can hold space for all of it. If you're watching this and someone specific came to mind, someone who acts this way with you, don't take it for granted. That person is giving you a gift. They're trusting you with parts of themselves they don't show the world, and that deserves to be honored. So the next time your girlfriend acts childish, don't see it as regression. See it as trust. See it as healing. See it as her nervous system finally exhaling after years of holding its breath. And if you can meet her there, if you can play along without judgment, you'll build something most people only dream of. Now, if this resonated with you, make sure to watch the video on the screen, because we're going even deeper into relationship psychology and how to create the kind of connection that actually lasts. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss content like this. I'll see you in the next one.